wait, what? What's going on? You saw the thumbnail, you're looking at me like, wait, where's Frank at? Listen, guys, short disclaimer. We did shoot the episode for the Rosenstrike versus Volkan. Unfortunately, we did have some technical difficulties trying to upload that. But if you stay tuned to this video, you will get my predictions for UFC 275 as well as Frank's.
What's up, guys? I know in the previous video we told you guys we're gonna hit you with some UFC 275 predictions, and here we are. Before we move on, go ahead, drop a like, subscribe so you can see anything else we drop or anything we dropped before, and let's get straight to it. Also, not covering the whole card, just covering the top 3 fights. We're gonna start from bottom to top. So we're gonna go Zhang Weili versus Joanna Jacek, Valentina Shevchenko versus Taila Santos, and then we got Yuri Prochazka versus Glover Teixeira. To start it off, like I said, I'm gonna go bottom to top. So we're just gonna start with Zhang Weili versus Joanna Jacek. Honestly, this fight right here is going to be insane. Fireworks from round 1 to round 5. But for each fight, I'm kind of gonna break it down into a little 3-question thing. So we're gonna go who wins, why do they win, and what's next. So who wins that fight? I got Zhang Weili. Honestly, the reason I say this is because since she's been training with Henry Cejudo, I know she's lost her last 2 title fights, one by knockout and the other by decision. But in the decision loss, honestly, it could have went both ways in my eyes. And what I did notice from her is that she incorporated more offense into her wrestling, and I think that's what's gonna give her the edge on this victory. She already won before by decision. Joanna was super roughed up, cuts all over her face, huge hematoma, but I can say the same for Zhang. But honestly, I just think Zhang's been more active, and I think she takes the dub. If I had to say the next thing for her after this, I really want to see her fight for the title. Carlos Esparza just took the belt. They both can wrestle, but I think, once again, Zhang Weili's striking is it's too good. So I think she would take a win against her, but I hope that's what she gets next. Moving on, the next fight on the card is Valentina Shevchenko versus Taila Santos. I'm super excited to watch Valentina fight. She's a great fighter. She has great passion in the sport. She loves her fans too. But one thing that I give her over Taila, actually there's a couple things, but I'll just go down from the list. So number 1, she has a lot more weapons. And when I say weapons, she's got jiu-jitsu, she's got stand-up, she's got kicks, elbows, everything you can think of, she's got it, and she's shown it. Her last 4 or 5 are come by TKO or knockout, so we know she brings the fire every fight. Another thing I think she has on Taila is experience. She's fought people like Amanda Nunes, Joanna. I mean, she's fought everybody anytime. So it's obvious she can compete with the highest talent, and she's made it evident that she's here to stay for a while. I say this because this is her now 7th title defense if she wins, which I do think she will. I just don't think Taila has it in her to take it. I mean, her last 4 or 5 have come by decision compared to Valentina. So, yeah, I give it to Valentina. What I think is next if she wins is an Amanda Nunes trilogy match, or even if Juliana Pena beats Amanda Nunes, I think she should go up a weight class no matter what and try getting a double strap. So, yeah, that's honestly my pick for that fight. Moving on, the main event, Glover Teixeira versus Yuri Prochazka. Super excited for this fight just because Yuri, he is on a 12-fight win streak. His striking is off the charts. The power that comes off his hands, the way this guy moves, how humble he is. I really do admire his fighting style, but I could say the same for Glover. He's been fighting for 10 years probably plus in the UFC. He's fought guys like John Jones, Anthony Smith. He is truly a champion. Although Glover's been here for a while, you know, it is hitting that point where he's 42 years old, and I feel like that is going to be his biggest downfall. And compared to Yuri, he's 29 years old, and he's so hot right now. He's been training with Henry Cejudo. I think he does win the fight, but compared to the other fights I've been talking about, it's not that big of a gap. One thing that's going to give him a problem for sure, though, is Glover's BJJ. Obviously, his jiu-jitsu is, again, off the charts. We've seen it in the title fight against Jan Blachowicz. But I'm not too worried for Yuri just because he's been training with Henry Cejudo, who's a gold medalist, Olympian. I'm not looking past Glover at all, though. It's not that I doubt him. It's just that I think he's a little old and a little past his prime. And I think Yuri just has too much power in his stand-up. And Glover likes to test his stand-up. We seen it against Alexander Gustafsson. He got knocked out. And I think that's the same thing Yuri can do to him. So, honestly, I want to see how Glover can get him to the ground, how he can get Yuri Prochazka to the ground, if he can. And if he does get Yuri Prochazka to the ground, we're going to have some real problems. But other than that, I think Yuri takes the fight. You guys let me know what you think, but them are my picks for UFC 275.
What's up, guys? Look, these are my predictions for UFC 275. I'm going to go with the same format Frank is going with who's going to win, why they're going to win, and who's next for them. So, for the first card, because I'm going to do the same thing, bottom to the top. For the first one, we got Weili versus Joanna. I think that Joanna's going to win, okay? And the reason why I feel like she's going to win is because I know she hasn't fought. Hasn't been as active as Weili, but I just feel like that's the reason why. For the simple fact is that she's going to have more to prove. Also, knowing that she was a champ and that she fought roles, she's fought these fighters. I really think that this is her last shot of trying to get that title shot. So I think that it's going to be really important for her to win, and I don't think that she's going to she's not going to back down. And I think it's going to be a brawl. I think it's going to be a crazy fight. I do feel like Weili's going to incorporate the wrestling more. Fortunately, with that, I feel like that could get her the W, so I could see Weili winning. But I am going to go for Joanna. So what's next for Joanna? If she does win that fight with Weili, I think that she deserves the title shot. I would love to see her fight Carla Esparza. I love to see her fight her and get another shot at the title. Moving on to the next fight, we have Valentina versus Santos. Who is she? You know what I mean? I've seen her fight before, Santos. I just don't see nobody beating Valentina at all in that weight division. And no one really knows who she is. I feel like she's fighting these fill-in fighters, these fighters that everybody kind of knows that she's going to beat. And I just don't see her losing. I just don't. I think she's too dominant at that weight division. And I just don't see her nobody beating her, to be honest. How she's going to win, I just feel like Valentina is just way more versatile with every single aspect of mixed martial arts, MMA. And she's good at striking. She's good at wrestling. She got some grappling. I just feel like she's probably one of the best all-around fighters ever. Honestly, female all-around fighters ever. And I just don't see anybody beating her anytime soon. What's next for her? I feel like what's next for her is to move up. I agree with Frank. I think she needs to move up. She's beating these girls left and right. There's really no competition for her at that weight division. I just feel like she needs to move up, possibly move down, but I feel like she's too big to move down. But I think that she needs to move up, maybe fight Pena, maybe Amanda Nunes, see how that fight plays out. Maybe she can fight the loser of that fight. That's what I want to see next for her. Moving on, we got Yuri versus Glover. Guys, this one's kind of hard for me to choose just for the simple fact is I like both fighters. Also, I could see both of them winning in some type of way. I could see Yuri winning by knockout, TKO, and I could see Glover winning by, a submission. So it's kind of hard to say, but I am leaning more towards Yuri just for the simple fact is that he's younger, he's on a streak. He just has that. I agree with Frank. He has that power. It's a different type of power. The way that he did, Dominic Reyes, it was ridiculous. It was one of the craziest knockouts I've probably ever seen. And I don't know. I don't know. I do like both fighters. They're both humble. And they both, honestly, they're both championship material. And honestly, I just see I got Yair. I do see him winning by TKO or knockout. But those are my picks for UFC 275. Tell me what you guys think. If you guys agree with me, if you guys don't, if you guys agree with Frank. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like and subscribe. Show a friend. Thank you guys. Peace.